Oh, didn't turn that off. Hold my hand. Let me go a little bit, go. Oh, I don't want that fan on, really. Yeah. That has to be you.
I understand that, but just know that every time I get on my bed, it feels like pins and needles going into my shins and my hips. Stop smiling so much.
Right.
Ow. Do you see how I'm having to be getting up here?
What kind of match?
Do you know how I'm having to get up here?
Yeah, let me see it. The foot directly on the bed is wild.
So that this part of my leg doesn't touch it. It hurts so bad.
You know what else is wild? Low battery.
That's going to have to be you. That's going to have to be you.
If this is any indication of why it's taken us so long to come back. Okay. Well, you kind of show favoritism to...
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And what about it? You show favoritism to our animals.
No, I love...
Yeah!
No, I love them all equally, and I have favorites at different times, but they're all equally rotated.
Myrtle's always your favorite.
Woo! 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 Welcome back. Woo! Sorry about that. First and foremost, sorry about that. Well,
hold on.
We have a lot to apologize for.
Hold on.
I'm Jennica.
I'm Annica. Welcome to Spill More Girls.
Oh, woo! What was that?
Did you see that? Did you see that?
We saw like Weasley's head, like it was I don't even know what he would have been doing to cause that.
Like it was weird.
Our little bunny rabbit. I think he thinks that something's over here because he's been creep city along the windowsill, and I feel like I said windowsill just really country.
Windowsill. Well,
Somebody
welcome
said
back.
that when I travel, it does come out a little bit more, and I feel like that's when I try to like,
minimize
it the most. Yeah, my customer service voice, I try to get it out of here, and then also, but then sometimes I'm like, I don't really think I sound that country, and then sometimes I hear myself, and I'm like,
I think it's
way down under on the Chattahoochee, it gets hotter than the hoochie coochie.
I think it's just certain words that we say.
Yeah, light, bright, kite, might, like those are all I feel like I'm.
What?
Well, y'all, hello, and welcome back to Spill More Girls. We have truly missed this, and you know what? We've not caught up about my Miami trip because we were going to do that on the podcast, and then we just kept, we both got very, very sick. She was kind of sick, but allergy sick once I got back and landed.
I don't know if I was allergy sick. I think I was actually sick.
It was turning into actual sick.
Yeah, so as soon as you got back, I was sick. I actually just posted my vlog of me being like, oh, I'm a little sick, but it's okay. Then the next clip of me being like,
it's not okay.
Can't leave my bed. And then immediately after that, you just came down with it as well.
Yeah, and truly this time of year, I don't even get sinus. You always, it's like that spring season swap that you do really get hit sinus-wise. And I have any friends with allergies, this is the time of year with them. Most of them, bring out their mask and stuff again. It gets just that bad. And the Middle Tennessee is a bowl. We're just it's pollen city. And so at first, I thought, man, this pollen is really actually getting me too, because sometimes it does.
It was actually high pollen count this year.
And I started taking Claritin, and then once the Claritin was not doing anything, I was like, oh no, we're sick.
Yeah, and it kind of just snowballed from there. And so now I'm no longer sick, but I have I don't even know what degree sunburn. I genuinely do try to take care of my
you're good about the UV and the sunscreen.
And I come in when I need to. I go I am fairly good at it because I know how miserable it is to be sunburnt, and also I like to go multiple days in a row. I don't want to get too much one day and not be able to go the next. Well, I did my big one the last time I went to the pool, and it was going to be a 10 UV. Here I am sunburnt.
Sunburn. I literally brought her lunch down, and she was like, we have to go in. Wait,
I'm slightly purple on the legs.
But the UV of 10 will just do that to you. That might even be a 45-minute reapply situation.
It might be a 45 minutes then dip. That's what I needed to do. And so now
I'm just shade a little bit.
And did I flip over once? No. So there's
a hard line.
Hard line, no tan on the back of my back. But honestly, I would rather be sick than sunburned.
Yeah, and you got to get that first burn of the summer in so that you can just start.
This is just what is he doing?
I know. I think that he genuinely, there's got to be some sort of ant or something. Also, this time of year is when I think bugs start trying to come inside. And thank goodness we have cats because it's pest control city for them. But like they do be catching stuff this time of year, which we love spring. We welcome spring with open arms. And truly, we were planning on taking a summer break this year. This break wasn't, we would have announced, we would have prepped, but it kept not meaning to be a break. And then like she was sick and then I was sick and so that was our summer break though. So now we're just going to keep this train running.
So last we left off was before Megan's wedding.
Yes.
We were going to Florida.
Yep.
Florida was so much fun.
Florida was
We had
incredible.
The best time. I did lay by the pool and not get sunburnt there. And I read my books. I went to breakfast with just me and Austin while you girls were getting ready.
You had some godparent bonding.
I had some godparent bonding time. We walked over to get lunch. It was a great time. The wedding was just so fun.
Yeah.
It was just so fun. And
it couldn't have been better. Just a perfect day and so Megan.
This is the first time I've been like, not an adult, but like, well, I guess I am an adult, but like an older, not an older child. Like what?
Yeah,
you're
still you are at that age where it's like, okay, she's not with the kids table anymore, but she doesn't need to be in these conversations.
Yeah,
it's like,
but I was.
But you're always included. She's always included.
Obviously,
with my friend.
So it just felt nice to be older at a wedding and not like flower girl age, but more of like an adult age and enjoy it that way. And it really was nice. So yeah, it was so much fun.
And then we met MJ.
We met MJ. I have been so excited to see Sam. Like, literally so excited. We did, I feel like, so much back to back to back together. And then after Cabo, she found out she was pregnant. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to give her space with this. Yes. And I'm already not, like, great with babies. I try. And it's just, like, I feel like I'm holding them wrong. I'm really, really bad with babies. And I try. It just doesn't come to me. And she was just getting adjusted to it, and I was like, you let me know what you need from me. And I was just so excited to see her again.
I mean, we had the best time, and that I knew that from just the conversations that we had been having, like she did feel just so at peace and just good, and that's what you hope for your friends, like post-baby, and just to see her in action and to see her face thriving. Like light up, and like it really was just like energizing, truly.
Like this, seeing her be a mom, I was like, wow, that's really amazing.
And it's also like nice that I can like love and enjoy that so much and still not want one of my it's nice that that's even more confirmation of like, oh, like this is something that brings me so much joy and like I love so much, but like I'm okay with not having to do again, and I don't feel like I need to.
But now you're getting fed all of your friends' babies.
But now I'm like, I don't want him to get any bigger ever. Like, I don't want him to get any bigger.
He's the cutest little thing.
He is so cute and just good, and I'm just so happy for them. I really am so happy for them. But then, as we figured, I type B too close to the sun, as I said on the blog. And I know we might have caught up with some of this stuff, but...
So, wait, hold on. So, I left after 2 days at Samantha Joe's. My flight, I had to get back for, like, a market, which we'll talk about. I had to get back for a market, and my flight was at, like, 8 or something, like, nothing crazy. And we're pulling in the airport, and I go, hey, Mom, where are your keys to the car that I have to drive from the airport to our house once I get back to Nashville? She's like, oh, I must definitely do not have those with me. Must definitely don't have those with me. So, me being type A, I start scrambling. I'm like, we are literally at the airport. We are literally at the airport, and we have to go back to Samantha Joe's house. Keep in mind, the last time I was at this airport, I was flying by myself, and some beef with Southwest and me. Sometimes my birthday is wrong on their thing.
Yeah, we've got to figure that out.
I don't know, but it's bad. And so the last time I went, I got to you have to take a tram from where you check your bags to security to the gates. So I ride the tram from taking my bags to the gates, and I get there, and security's like, this isn't right. You have to go all the way back to the front. And I'm freaking out at this point. Then an officer sees me. He's like, are you alone? And I was like, yes. And he was like, are you under 18? I was like, yes. And he was like, okay, come with me. And he just escorted me through. I said, okay. I'm not going to complain. So I didn't have the best luck with this airport.
Yeah, and the birthday thing, you're allowed to, like, check your bag and, like, scan in there, and then it's truly not until TSA to where they're like, this is wrong.
So I was just so nervous. Then we went back, got the keys, got to the airport. It was fine. Got back to the to Nashville, and I was all good. Now, why don't you share your airport experience?
I mean, my airport experience was...
Oh, well, let's talk about the thing you were most excited for.
I know, I'm so, like, I genuinely am still upset about the train, and I don't know. It was nice to be able to get to Miami in under an hour. Like, that, I can't lie. And especially when the ticket did only end up being $117. Like, that was a little bit more, I was able to sleep okay. With that said, I just was so excited. Like, I was so... Sorry, guys, memory card was full. I had to switch her out. Anyway.
So, nonetheless, the train that you were supposed to take, that you did not book, got fully booked.
Yeah. I was waiting until last minute to book it because there was just a million, and then a train got canceled and people got booted, and I got booted. I was one of those people. I did not get booted onto that train. I got booted off that plan. So, at some point, I know there's an Amtrak. There's just not an Amtrak location in Nashville, which is just like devastating. I would be going everywhere.
Maybe it's for the best.
Yeah, maybe it is for the best, and maybe I wouldn't like it, but I wouldn't know until I tried. Anyway, I got to Miami, and I'm changed. I'll never be the same again. I'm a different person before that trip and after that trip.
Yeah.
It was a new chapter.
We didn't talk a lot because we were both very busy. All I would get was, I love it here. And then I'd be like, okay, cool. So when are you going to come home?
It just, and I think we have come to a conclusion that, with Annica just loving glamour and loving her job and she just really does like want to do this for a
foreseeable future.
For a foreseeable future, yes. And as much as I am ready to get out, I just like genuinely wouldn't be happy doing my own thing like without her. Like, I just really do, especially at 18.
You really don't think you would be happy if you moved to Miami?
I mean, no, I for sure would be happy moving to Miami, but it would, maybe what we're getting at is I think that I'm going to do like a 1 to 2 month stint in Miami and just like, The
way that I'm like, in my head being like, I think that that's a good idea is because we have always said we wanted Luna to be on the beach. We've always said we wanted Luna to be on the beach.
Would.
And she would have so much fun, just that being her everyday
Those
walk.
boardwalks, she would never be the same.
So I think that maybe like we kind of thought about it during my prom season where I'm super busy and not home that much. And while it's kind of like slower season at the beach, that might be good. So stay tuned, I guess.
Yeah. So, and we're still just testing. I hate committing to stuff, so it'll be a minute. But I am going to now start doing research. If you know of neighborhoods that would be best, if you know of seasons that would be best, if you know if like, okay, 4 weeks is plenty, or you should definitely do 6 to 8, or if you have any advice.
Let's go ahead and say 6 to 8 because we're going to say 4, then you're going to get there and you're going to be 6 to 8. So
every time I do anything, I say double it.
Double and take it to the next person, but the next person is always you.
Yeah, I just think that, and then that would cure me. Because the thing is, like, about here, I love being here. Let me
about to say.
I love that so many of my friends are here. I really, really do. Like, that just means so much to me because that is just family. And
I feel like you're just content right now. I wouldn't say you're necessarily, like, thriving like you would be in Miami.
What a great way to put it. I'm so content.
You're just content.
Yeah.
And, I was going to make such a good point after that.
And your finger even was going up.
I know. Oh, it'll never
Are you going to find it in... We'll give you a second.
Hold on.
But I couldn't tell you the sentence that we said before that either.
No, go ahead.
Well, so let's chat Miami, guys. Let's chat Miami. And it's not like, we're not forgetting about New York. Jennica will still have a New York stint. And maybe like once I do this Miami thing, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to do this I'll pop to a city a couple months every year, and that will keep me like refreshed and like loving, my situation. Yeah. Because that's ultimately like maybe why I was able to stay single this whole time, was to be able to bop around like that. So we're just going to say, and separating the animals is just like not an option.
Not an option. Like not an option.
Not an option. So
I couldn't live without Luna. You couldn't live without Luna. Luna couldn't live without Weasley. Weasley couldn't live without Luna. Weasley couldn't live without Myrtle. Myrtle couldn't live without it. Just
Myrtle and Weasley, as much as they do beef low key, they rely on each other.
They have different household responsibilities.
Yes. And so they could be separated from Luna for a minute.
I don't think Weasley could. I don't think Weasley could.
Then do you want Weasley to come to Miami with me? Because Luna's coming to Miami with me.
No.
Right? Yeah, Luna's coming with me.
Yeah.
So Weasley's gonna have to. He'll have to learn how to
really
FaceTime and stuff.
He's gonna be really sad.
Yeah. Because Luna is his buddy. But Luna, he loves Luna. He goes and cuddles her every day.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be sad.
But I truly, like, the combination of the city and the beach and the vibe, you know, it's, because the first and only time I did go to Miami, it was for the
Mm-hmm.
which I love, but I didn't do that this time, and it was even better.
I love that for you.
It was even better. Okay, well, yeah, I was on boats. I was with crocodiles, and, like, I was doing all kinds of stuff. You have any questions?
I receive a text. I'm at work. I receive a text, and it says, can I say what it says?
Yeah.
What
did it say?
It said, I'm on a boat with Mr. Earl. And I said, so I'm going to assume you mean the boyfriend of Miss Earl?
And to be honest...
Not actual Mr. Earl.
Yeah.
And so I showed my friends, I was like, who do you think she's talking about? And we all definitely agreed that it was Alex's boyfriend. And I pretty much only heard I Love Miami besides that.
It was a big group of people, and...
it's like a hangout, but on the boat, because you're in Miami.
Yes, it was like a dinner on a boat type situation, and it was just the ultimate Miami experience, and, like, couldn't have been nicer. Like, couldn't have been nicer. I've been around a lot of different groups of guys in my life, and on my 30th birthday in Cabo, we met a group of guys that played for the NFL. And they were all so cool, so chill, like, not creepy at all. None of them were, like, some of my girlfriends had serious relationships. They had serious relationships. Like, it was just never...
Super respectful.
Yeah, it was just two groups of people that, like, were there for the same reason, same age, like, that enhanced each other's trips. But, like, there was no weird vibes. And I was like, that was just so cool to, like, be around that, like, caliber of guys, and, like, them to just be so down to earth and cool, because that just doesn't happen a lot. And... he couldn't have been cooler.
Love that.
He couldn't have been nicer. And, like, all of his friends were also that exact same way too. You know.
So, top 3 moments of Miami.
The airboat in the Everglades was kind of crazy.
Why you would choose to go to the Everglades is something that I just will never understand. But I do feel like an alligator is 100 times version of a turtle in some sense. So the fears correlate with each other, and I visualize that. But you chose to go to the Everglades.
Yeah, I mean, I love CSI, the whole entire CSI franchise. Miami, Vegas, I mean, I love it all. NYC, love it all. And CSI Miami, though, it's got a special place in my heart. And honestly, as soon as I landed in the airport, got in the Uber, I was coming out around the airport, I see... crime scene investigation coroner van. I said, okay, this was not on the vision. I might have watched this show, but this wasn't on the vision board. And I got to thinking, when I was thinking of things to do solo, tours. Okay, what kind of tours can I do? So I just, like, Googled clothes. And this was when I was staying on Miami Beach. But then at the second half of the trip, when I went to stay with Drake, they were like 30 minutes outside of town. And so I asked his girlfriend, I said, what should I do? And she was like, you should definitely go to the Everglades. And I was like, what does that entail?
That's insane.
What does that entail? And there's literally, like, airboats with, like, and they say when you're getting on the boat, they said this is a airboat tour of the Everglades. Like, if we see alligators, that is a bonus. That's not guaranteed. We're not going on an alligator tour. I promise you, I think I did a count. It was almost 15.
That's insane.
Babies, big daddies. Some girl was fishing, and she threw her fish bait, like, I guess she was done. She threw it to the gator, which... I don't know anything personally about gators, except for now, however long, like, inch-wise between their eyes, that's about how long feet-wise they are. So if their, like, eyes are about 3 inches apart, it's about a 3-foot gator.
Interesting.
Anyway, but even I, that only know that fact, know that you don't probably throw food
I'd say probably not.
gators. And I did also learn that they're like very like lazy hunters, so they like for their food to come to it. So like when you're going, hey, food. So she threw a fish into it and it snapped it, and she got yelled at by the whole everybody that was in charge yelled at her. Next, it would be, I knew I was going to do something fun with Sarah. Sarah also is a sports reporter, so like every time I've told her I want to come like watch you do something.
Thing.
Yeah, so I knew I was going to be doing something fun with her, and she's just like, she is my friend that truly is like my fun friend. And so top moment was with her for sure, but we were on the boat at sunset, and then to see Miami from that view in the sun and then at sunset and then also at night, and it just to be such a vibe. We met 2 girls. I met one girl. I loved her so much. Her name is Nika, N-I-C-A. I said,
You belong
with us. We FaceTimed immediately, and I said I found another Famicom member because she like you have to be a part of our group.
You have to.
And so we just had the best time. I met so many girls, and I met a whole group from Nashville too on the day. It just really was a great night, a good Miami night. And then truly bike riding. I biked all over that.
Yeah, I know she did.
What?
She called me, hey Annica, keep in mind, once again, mid-shift.
Working her job.
Hey, I'm like, hey, are you okay? Like, I'm working, like, what's going on? And she's like, yeah, I just don't have my wallet on me, and I can't use Apple Pay for these city bikes, so I need you to read me out your card number. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's no problem. I look at my bank account over like 3 days, 15 charges. Every single time she got on a bike, it charged me.
And the thing is, with City Bike, a weekly pass is just like $33 or something. And so, like, if I knew I was going to take it more than the once or even the twice, I would have just, because it's $6.50, I think, a ride otherwise.
Yeah.
And so I $6.50'd my way to 50 something.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gotten comfortable.
Weasley has gotten comfortable on us today.
Look at him. We've had some storms here, and he's not good with the storms.
Me either.
He's not good with the storms. Let me make sure there's nothing in Miami else I wanted to talk about. Wonderful time. It truly, like, every person that I met was great. The hotel I stayed in was wonderful. Every person that I was like friends with people there by the time I left. Like, I was meeting people on the boardwalk, just, having dinners, and it was so fun. And I did not realize that, like, doing something solo was going to be that healing, because truly I feel like, and I feel like you being as busy as you were back home helped me, because I didn't feel as like the mom guilt of it all.
But there's no reason to feel mom guilt. Like, there's really
not.
If
You say that as a non-mom.
If I wanted to be there, I would have been there.
Right. But I just didn't realize I was going to be completely, like, free of it and, like, have just such a good time.
Well.
But I was excited to get back. Like, I knew I could have stayed a little bit longer, but.
I don't know about excited.
Okay, next on the docket.
Next on the docket is what I was doing while you were in Miami.
Take it away.
So I flew back because I, A, wanted to, B, had a market that I needed to go to. I got invited with my store owner to my first market as a retailer. Mm-hmm. As you can recall, I went to market with a
designer.
Like, what's the opposite of a retailer? A seller?
Yeah, sailor.
Sailor. Yep, country folk. Country folk.
Right.
I went on the other end to the Atlanta market, but I was going as a buyer this time to our, like, ready-to-wear market because it's local to Nashville. So it was really fun. We went to the one hotel for breakfast before.
So fun.
And I walked around. It was cool to see how you, like, just placed orders and, like, did all the things there.
Was that your first thing at the convention center?
Yeah.
It's huge.
We sat there because we got there a little bit before the doors opened, and we were sitting there in the rocking chairs, and we were like, how many people do you think are in here right now? Because we saw so many different people for different things at the same time.
Y'all, when I first figured out that I loved Nashville so much, which I always loved Nashville, but I was never coming downtown as, like, an adult. I was always with family. And once I got to the age where I realized, like, I could start doing stuff downtown, I was like a magnet to it. And in that, I was like, well, I've got to have reasons to come to Nashville. And I started volunteering for everything.
Volunteering.
I started volunteering for everything, and it was so fun because I also like was keeping my college resume up that way, and so I just was volunteering for everything. And I worked so many events in that convention center, and I remember the first time I went in there thinking that I was just gonna, I don't even know, be like at a merch desk or something, and I walked around a corner and I was like, it looked huge from the outside, but it's all of that outside as one big open room
like
inside.
It's really.
I volunteered at something that was like a boat show there. There was a huge yachts in there. It was crazy.
It was really cool. It was kind of just like a bunch of different vendors that we normally order from online, and they all had just different booths. So it was like probably over 100 booths of just all of our places we order from. But we got to see everything in person, which is always nice because with clothes you don't ever know like 100% how they're going to be in person.
Yeah, you need to feel.
Yeah, it was really nice to see those, and we planned a lot of stuff for like CMAs that are coming up, just lots of cute things, and we placed our orders. I got some cute pictures, and I actually have another designer thing coming up that I'm really excited about. So that's what I was doing. I had a grand old time, then I got sick, and yeah, that's pretty much all I did.
Well, what you been reading?
Right now, okay, since we last talked.
Weasley will get situated in just a sec if you're watching.
All 4 of his feet right here all together. Since we last talked, I was reading Beach Read because that's what I was reading going to Florida. So I finished that. I think I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. It was really, really good. Then I read If He Had Been With Me. Now, listen.
We're listening.
I judge a book by its cover. I'm going to be honest, I judge a book by its cover. If it is a really cute book with a really cute sprayed edges and a really cute this, that, and the third, I'm going to get it. And I will figure out if I like the plot or not later. But I'll read it and I'll figure it out. And if I don't like it, I don't like it and I move on.
Especially now that we know about Pango and McKay's. Like, we're like, we can always...
like, sell them again or, like, just whatever. So, I found the collector's edition of If He Had Been With Me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the cutest thing ever. Like, it's just so cute. And I read it, and I was like, oh, it doesn't sound, like, that sounds kind of like what I like. A little bit of romance, a little bit of teen, like, whatever. If you have recently lost someone in your life, don't read this book. If ever you have lost someone in your life, don't read this book. Especially if it's anything involving auto disasters. And if it involves a teen in your teenage years, definitely don't read it. If you don't know, those 3 things do apply to me, and I read it. And
I just kept coming around the corner, and your eyes would just be red and wet.
So here's the thing. I loved the way it was written. Like, the chapter layout, the wording of it, just, like, the way it made me feel in, like, the first 95% of it. I just loved the way it was written. Nothing happened until the last 5%. So I enjoyed the book thoroughly for the first 95%. I loved it. It genuinely made me feel all the emotions. I didn't feel like I was watching someone. I felt like I was that person. And then once, obviously, the last 5% came, I was a little bit wrecked. But I did really like it in a weird way. Like, I just enjoyed reading it for the first 95%. And I do think something about it was healing because it was literally so spot on to my situation. So, that was that.
It's sometimes nice hearing things that you may be thinking but not be able to articulate in just different, you know.
And I thought I remembered reading something about, this is what it just says on the book, about something happening that might be a little bit triggering for me, but then I couldn't like really nail down if I did read that or not somewhere, so I was like whatever. And then I finished the book and I thought I had like 10 more pages, but it was all like notes from the author, and it was like questions and everything, and one of the questions was, did you always know the ending to this book? And the answer simply was just, the point of this book was for someone to always die. And I was like, wow, okay.
And you're like, okay, author. Right.
Okay, so maybe I should read the back of the books before I buy them now. But yeah, I read that. That was really good. And then now I am reading Deep End, which I've had forever, but it just looks a little intimidatingly thick. It really is thick.
The hand holding on the front is crazy.
Yeah, she's
spicy.
Not only spicy, but just like,
it's crazy you can read books like that.
Oh my god.
Sure.
So yeah,
sometimes she makes me like sometimes I'll come around the corner and she's like, you need to leave right now.
Or I'll just so abruptly flip my book upside down. I'm like, no.
I'm like, I don't know what you're reading.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like me walking in on a scene.
Like, it's just
On your TV's off.
But it's a mental scene for me. Like, it's a lot. So yeah, right now I'm reading Deep End. I really like it so far. It's very dense and it's very wordy. I feel like I have to go back and reread it a lot. And sometimes I'm just like, I gotta skip this paragraph. I gotta put me first. Yeah, and I just gotta keep on trucking. But I'm like halfway through right now, and then I think I'm gonna read Starry Night next.
Ooh, that's a pretty one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I finished If He Had Been With Me, I enjoyed it so much before the last 5%. And the first 95%, I was enjoying it so much. I was at the bookstore and I was like, oh my gosh, I should get If Only I Had Told Her. If Only I Had Told Her. And now I've read the last 5% of the book and I just don't know if I'm going to read that one.
You need a break.
It's the same storyline, but from a different point of view.
Ooh. Right.
Yeah, so I don't know if I need that in my life right now.
Well,
so what are you reading?
I've been reading a lot. Let me actually see where my reading goal is. I use Storyworth to keep track of what's going on with me reading-wise. And I set my reading goal for 60 books this year. And I'm currently at 31 books.
Oh my God.
31
You're
books.
Like halfway
it says that I'm ahead by 8, but I feel like which I guess if it was June, I'd be. But am I going to read 8 books in June?
Yeah, you will, probably.
Okay. I've been flying through stuff. I do have a reading vlog coming where I break down, so I won't double talk about everything here. Yeah, but I did get into the Light Lark series, and I immediately ordered the second 2 books from Pango Books. If you don't know what Pango Books is, though, let me shout it. I'll shout it out everywhere. It is like a Poshmark, eBay type for books, and it really is for the girlies. Like it's for like every order that I have gotten has come with like stickers and bookmarks or just
like it was. Oh my God, Blixley!
I know. I'm trying. I'm like I don't know if we can.
He's like
if y'all can hear him licking. But
he's just sprawled out. Yeah. Like what you liking? Literally, some of them have come in the same packaging we use for Glamour. Like it's just so cute.
And I got one book that was you could tell that it was. I didn't even know that it was a possibility to be on Pango Books yet because I've not needed anything new yet. You can tell this girl literally went to the store, bought it, read it, listed it. Like
and even probably read half of it on a different like device.
Audiobook, or something, or Kindle or something because it was barely cracked and I got it for $8 or so, like 10 something.
Yeah.
So, reading the Light Lark series, I read a couple new Fridas, but we'll catch up in my next reading vlog. Okay. I do have a confession. It's not like crazy or anything, but I am somebody that will admit when I am wrong, and I will let you know when you are right because that is sometimes just deserved in situations. There's a guy outside hanging over his balcony with no shirt on, and you can just tell he is loving life. Like he's like watching everybody walk, and he's just loving life right now, and I'm just loving that for him. You see him?
For him as well, yeah.
Yeah, he's just chilling. Anyway, I have multiple times, I would say, been a little bit of a hater for your Spotify DJ.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I did not initiate this. But when I got in my car, the last book I was listening to I was able to listen to it on Spotify. And like, I guess it finished and it just went to music next, and it started playing hit after hit, and I was like, what playlist do I have this on? Because this is no Skip City, and skipper. If I don't like the song within the first 5 seconds, it's getting skipped. And even if I've like, if it's new, if I'm not vibing with it, like we're not wasting our time here. It was banger after banger after banger, and all of a sudden, after I'm like, well, I can't figure out what playlist is, and I don't want to like exit out of whatever's going on, so I'm just gonna keep vibing until I get to one that I skip, and then all of a sudden I hear DJ, what's his name?
DJ X. I seriously, for the past probably like 8 months, have been religiously using my DJ X. Workout, DJ X. Drive, DJ X.
Explain what it is.
So it's basically Spotify's AI to where whatever you're like been listening to, it really analyzes your listening and then puts it all into
I know what you're trying to get. It's a Weasley hair.
I'm like,
I was like, you're not sick anymore.
No,
Why are
I'm
you?
just, I have Weasley hairs all over me.
Yeah, it's Weasley hair.
It puts it all together, then, like, new things he thinks you would like, old stuff from 2020, like, it just throws everything together, and it just is simply amazing. And then with a push of a button, you can change the vibe.
It just was exactly what I needed in the moment.
It always is.
It was 2005 to 2010 rap, 3-6 Mafia. Like, it was beautifully done, and it was just like I would be still riding the high from the song, and then I'd be like,
it fades into the next one. Yeah. So she's a hater because I have it on, and then every between like 5 songs it'll be like,
I just like,
all right, now we're switching the beat to something you liked in 2020. Here's Taylor Swift, and I'm like, okay, perfect. And she'll be like, oh, whatever.
I'm like, here's your favorite guy.
Yeah.
What's your boyfriend saying now?
Now she's obsessed.
Yeah, he's gonna be my boyfriend now too.
Yeah.
Speaking of boyfriends,
What?
we both have boy stories.
I do.
Yeah, you do. Miss Receipt on a. What's number on a receipt?
That is fresh. Okay.
Miss number on a receipt.
Okay, go ahead. You go first.
What's mine?
Okay. I gotta discreetly say this. Mr. Wave.
Mr. White.
Tell him.
There's a cute boy at our apartment complex. I guess man. Yeah, definitely man. But like my worst fear is like even knowing people at my apartment complex.
Yeah, we've talked about it enough about the.
Yeah, we have our
group,
our like
our
neighbors
niche.
that we love. But I'm like I love being able to go outside and let Luna out without having to care about what I look like, without,
Yeah.
And
You
so
should be able to do that no matter what, man.
it's devastating that I think he's cute, but I won't ever talk to him.
That's not true. We have done things that would say different.
I did go outside the next day at the exact time.
So basically, we walked out of the apartment, and he did like a double take almost. And there was something happening in the street that was able for us to all, like, as us, him, and then other people would laugh and be like, what was that?
Yeah.
And then he was like, y'all look good, by the way. And it was when we were looking
Just
really
in case
cute.
she forgot what or didn't hear what she said. He said, y'all look good, by the way.
Yeah, so then it was just like, she was freaking out.
I wasn't
like,
freaking out.
She was freaking out and couldn't stop talking about it for the rest of the night. And so then I get a call for the next day, and she's like, I'm going to go out at the exact same time today and see if I see him. I'm like, okay, queen, okay, go off. And she didn't. And then the next day she did it again, and she didn't. But then I saw him when I was getting home from work, and I was like, I called her, and I'm like, he's over here. So she made her way over there, and they kind of crossed paths a little bit, and he waved at her.
He waved, yeah. But yeah, that's about. It was fun for a second, but I think the joke's over. And he was cute, but I just don't have the energy.
Yeah. Well,
go ahead.
Well, me and Leah were at dinner the other night. I'm not going to disclose the restaurant. We were at dinner the other night, and it's somewhere I feel like we frequent often. Mm-hmm. And there was a new waiter, and he was relatively cute, relatively my type, and he was our waiter. And as soon as he walked away the first time, she looked at me, and she was like, that's your type. And I said, I'm aware, thank you very much. I'm aware. And she was like, so what are we going to do about it? And I was like, nothing. We're not going to do anything about it.
We're going to tip nice. We're going to walk away.
The way Leah is, and y'all will learn this like throughout her time in the vlogs, but she's just so outgoing. Like, we were walking on Broadway taking pictures for Glamour one time, and she was like, I want to play a game where everyone we passed for the next 30 minutes I compliment. And she did it just so calmly. She has
wonderful.
So much less social anxiety than I do, and sometimes I look at her and I'm just like, I wish I could.
Look at his arms.
I know.
Cute they are.
No, it's
too cute.
It's too cute. And I'm like, she could just do it, and I would be thinking about it for the next 7 business days. I can't do it. And she's done like she always shoots a shot. And so the next time he comes over, she's like, what school do you go to? You just look so familiar. And he's like, I go to this and this school. She's like, I go to a different school. I wonder, do you play any sports? And he was like, yeah, football and baseball. And I was like, okay. And she's like, oh, I don't know. I went to this school for a while. Did you ever go to this school? He's like, no. She's like, oh, just looks so familiar. And he walks away, and she looks at me, and she says, I've never seen him in my life before. I just wanted to talk to him.
She had to get a little bit more out.
And I was like, okay, Queen, okay. So then it keeps going on, it keeps going on, it keeps going on. And when we're leaving, I'm going to the bathroom, she's finishing paying, and we're going to meet at the door. We do that, we meet at the door, and she's like, hey, by the way, I left something on the receipt. And I was like a smiley face, like what? You left what? Like you left a 30% tip? Like what? And she was like, no, on your receipt. And I was like, what? And I just wrote him a little note from you, and I literally right then and there almost passed out. And I said, you know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to know what it says. I really, 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 really don't.
So she got a Snapchat request later.
I did. And now we're here.
We probably won't have any other updates on those stories. That's probably. But this just goes to show you we're not hiding anything.
Yeah.
Stuff
that's probably going to be the start and end of those stories.
That is probably, that chapter is closed, yeah.
I have been loving doing also solo things lately, but mine are just a little bit more local. And I went to a little Skyline Sweat.
Too cool.
So fun. So the Pilates studio that I go to did a collab with the cycle studio that's also in Nashville for Skyline Sweat. So it's literally like biking and Pilates on the pedestrian bridge in Nashville, which is just like iconic. And when tickets went on sale, I was really wanting to go because I've been loving doing this solo stuff, and I love that kind of environment.
Well, and you've also you have tried so many studios throughout Nashville, Franklin, Brentwood, all of them.
None of them have been like this.
Loved that one from the very first time you went, got the membership, and have like actually been
every single week since I got it. And so I was on the website waiting for tickets the day it got dropped, and I didn't know how much they were going to be. They ended up being like $80, which I feel like wasn't terrible for what it was.
Now that you've experienced it.
Yeah,
but
I did kind of I purchased it because I was worried it was going to sell out, and then immediately it was like, oh, I didn't think about the price of that at all, really. I didn't confirm whether that was like reasonable with anyone. I just kind of did it. But I'm glad I did it. I got there. The biking was first. I don't think I enjoyed that. I don't think I enjoyed the biking aspect of it. It's nothing against the studio. The studio seems like a very energetic, very community-based place. The actual act of the cycling and the soreness it gave me wasn't worth it. It simply wasn't worth it to me. And I know it's supposed to be like core and everything down, and like then you have those arm movements and whatever.
Yeah.
But I just felt like, okay, my legs are tired, but like I don't feel like I like toned or like did anything from that, and that 100% was definitely a me.
And that wasn't it wasn't the type of class where it was like a beginner and where they were walking. The instructor was able to walk you through it. It was a lot of people. It was like you only had 30 minutes, so you got to get through it, and it was on me to catch up, and I just did not catch up. But then we did the Pilates, loved it. Then I did a cold plunge, loved it. I did love the environment. I'm so glad. If they do it again, I still will do the event again. I just know now to prep before. Maybe bring my own cushion for the seat. Yeah.
And, yeah. But I loved it. It was so fun. So there's a cold plunge. Like, there's places in Nashville that have saunas, cold plunge, compression therapy, cryotherapy, like all those kind of things.
Those are like also like membership based clubs too, where you can go
and they had a pop up there for cold plunge, and no one was doing it, but I knew before I even got there that I was going to do it because I love a cold plunge, and so when it's convenient like that, right after a workout, I'm going to do it. So right after, I packed up all my stuff, I headed over to the cold plunge, and no one else was doing it, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to do it. And so I was like, I'll break the ice, guys. I'll do it first. So I start getting ready, and he's like, do you do this before? And I was like, yeah. And we went around the whole thing. Then he started timing me when I got in. It honestly wasn't that cold, but I wasn't going to be like, they were talking amongst like the people that worked there, whether they should put some ice in it. And I wasn't going to be like, yeah, you need to put ice in it, but like, it's not that cold.
Yeah.
It got the job done, though. And so I'm sitting there, and he's just kind of chatting with me so that I don't think about being in this cold plunge. And he's like, you would not believe how hard it was to get water on this bridge. And I was like, you know what? That is a great point. And he said, nonetheless, cold water. Cold water on top of a bridge.
And y'all, this bridge, it's a
hike.
It's a bridge. Like, it is so tall, which, like,
I don't know how they did it.
Yeah.
But congrats to them.
It was really fun. Luna and I went downtown and I think we ended up doing like 3 miles of just waltzing. I wanted to get lots of views of the bridge from Annica because I thought it was so fun so cool that she was doing that. So it was fun walking downtown with Luna. And
she has a blast doing all that kind of stuff.
She just loves being involved.
She loves being involved.
Same. That's why they're buddies.
I mean, everyone couldn't be in bed and him not be there too.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Spill More Girls. We are so sorry it wasn't supposed to be like that. And so then once it was, I said,
the stars were not aligning.
No.
But they're back in line.
We're back. That was summer break.
Almost Gemini season.
And we're almost to birthday month for this gal.
19.
Nasty
19.
You will have officially fully been on this earth for 19 whole entire years.
Lots to come.
How do you feel? Anything do you hope to accomplish in your 19th year?
Yeah, but I don't want to jinx it.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing the thing though where I get very anxious because I have a lot of things coming up that I'm really excited about, but in the 3 weeks following that, I have nothing that I'm excited about. So then I'm just like anxiety based until I get there because I want to have fun and I know fun is coming, but I can't have fun yet, and it's just a tinkle too far away.
I just truly appreciate that's it feels like I have done my job because gets to be your problem at 18.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what your problem should be as an 18-year-old girl.
I just have so many fun things lined up, and it's just like, why do I have to wait? I've had one of these things booked for 6 months. 6 months. And then 3 weeks ago, I did the thing where I booked something for 6 months out.
Yeah,
why do I do this to myself?
You gotta keep those things coming to keep.
You know why I do this for myself, actually? You know why I do this to myself?
Why?
Because ticket resale is out of
somebody's got to be put in jail.
Someone's got to put in jail.
Somebody who's got to be put in maximum security prison.
Just because I missed the pre-sale that I have to pay 16 times more than what the artist put it at.
I mean, the last few concerts we've gone to, we've not even gone to, like, I've sat in the parking lot for one. We actually went to an Ascend concert and stood in the back because it was going to be $400 and it's like lawn seats. Like, I wasn't even looking at the...
It's just insane.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And it's like, I remember genuinely like scraping together for our first Big Time Rush concert. That was Big Time Rush, One Direction. And I think that the tier tickets that we got were genuinely like $49. And I remember once it broke over $100 for the price, I was like, oh, like I don't know if I can do this. And that was genuinely only 15 years ago.
Yeah.
No,
that's why I have to plan things 6 months in advance. That's why. So I'm just, it's not worth doing resale.
Hopefully something is going to be done, but like concert tickets have to be able to be affordable again. Anyway, well, I guess we'll end on that note.
Love ya.
Love you guys so much. Compliment someone.
And we'll spill more next Thursday. Next Thursday. Love ya.
Always by your side.